Hi. So, sorry, I'm a bit dusty. We're in a temporary, let's say, venue to do our videos today. You've never met us before physically, a lot of you. Some of you have, and you really enjoyed your time with us. So, we just wanted to say hi.
Hi.
And basically talk to you about what we do and why we do it, and our passion, really. I think we're happy with that.
Yeah.
Cracking. You'll get used to us, we're a bit crazy. So
Some more than others.
watch it. So we're in Bev's workshop today. We do have day jobs, obviously, because most of our work in the paranormal is at night. So someone needs to pay the bills. And these days it tends to be the women. So, am I allowed to say that?
You already have.
Too late now. So, do you want to start, Bev?
No, you crack on. You're doing good.
I'll crack on. Okay, so I'm Karen. This is obviously Bev,
Yeah.
I've explained. My day job is completely different to what we do at night. Basically, I manage a care facility for it's assisted living, but they need support here and there. So yeah, I manage the carers in that area, and as much as I love it and I love the people and the experiences that I've had, I prefer ghosts.
The dead, not the living.
Yeah. I've worked in areas from 14 weeks pregnant,
Ooh.
so like miscarriages and stuff, right up to 106, I think my eldest lady was. So life and death, I've done both. Not religious, don't believe in any of that. You do.
Yes. Many years of Sunday school, yeah.
Poor you.
About religious as it gets.
I used to go to Friday club in a church.
I had Tuesday club and Sunday school twice a day on a Sunday.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate. We don't disrespect anybody, obviously. But we're all about the proof. And we like proof, we like evidence, and that's
We like history
what
as well.
We like the history. Every building's got a history. Every person has a history. So we're trying to find out what that history is.
But to walk in footsteps of people who were there hundreds of years ago,
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing.
And potentially hear it from their own mouth.
Yep.
That's what I find quite interesting. We have had in the past quite a lot of communication where they've told us who they are, what they did, why they're there. Difficult to prove some of it because the history doesn't go back far enough, or
Not documented.
not documented. There's obviously flooding and fires and various blockages that we've come across when we've tried to get evidence and history to back up what we've found.
We did have one at one of our investigations. There was a young lad who had been in prison, and he wanted to send a message to his mum, and he gave us her name. He gave us the year he was born and the year she was born,
Wow.
and the area that she lives in.
Did you find her?
We haven't,
Oh,
but now might be a great opportunity.
it might. Yeah. So part of what we do as well is, as investigators, is we document everything. And we believe nothing until we can prove it to be what we think it is.
We're open-minded,
Very open-minded, yeah, we accept anything and everything.
yeah, and we're happy to debunk it as well. So, you know, it's not if something happens, oh, that must be a ghost. We always try and find logical reason for it.
And most of the time, I mean, if you read the blog that was put up yesterday on the website, you will find a little bit of information on there about Are You Haunted? And there's some information on Occam's Razor, which basically is an old philosophy that says the simplest answers are generally the correct ones. So that's kind of what we work towards, unless we can prove it to be otherwise.
And next weekend we are actually visiting a modern house, aren't we?
Yes.
To investigate there. As there are reports of strange goings on, lights flickering, doors opening and closing on their own, things being moved.
Very standard home haunting stuff.
Yep.
That usually has a logical explanation, which the lady that owns the property can't find. So we're going to go in and help her with that. We've got a secret location coming up, haven't we? That we can't say anything about. That's going to be interesting next weekend. Busy weekend next weekend.
Very busy, very exciting.
Yeah. We are new. We've only been going for a month.
But between us, we've been investigating for years.
Yes, officially Stranger Nights Paranormal was birthed a month ago.
Christmas Day, I believe.
Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not even quite a month yet. But I have a book out. I'll plug that. Yeah, I've got a book out about me and my friends when we were kids. And we were investigating even then. So we were 9-10 years old. And we had, do you remember those old 90s cassette recorders that had the little plastic microphones?
Yeah, and the whole start button,
Yes.
rewind, fast forward.
Oh yeah, proper. Sorry, youngsters, if you don't know what a cassette is.
The biro in the cassette, have to winding it.
Yes, love it. Yeah, so we had one of those, and because it had a microphone on it, we went around this car that was in the garage, my next door neighbour's garage, that we thought was haunted because the property was built on an old field where there used to be an old farmhouse, so there was obviously a lot of history there before. And we could hear voices coming through this microphone. So, being the naive children that we were, we made a Ouija board. I do not recommend it to anybody under the age of 18 to use a Ouija board if you haven't got a clue what you're doing, because in this particular instance, the glass just went flying.
And you scare yourself senseless as well.
And we scared ourselves senseless, and then the Coke bottle fell over, and then two of the girls that were in the garage group, they swore blind that a teddy bear lifted off of an old chair and moved, and it did fall on the floor. So whether it lifted and fell on the floor is just a report from them. But yeah, we've had a lot of experiences as kids, which has probably interested my love for it. But I used to go down the graveyard on a Sunday with Lucy. Hi, Lucy. And we used to look after some graves.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we had a children's one, we had a really, really old one, and we had an elderly person's one each. And we'd go down every Sunday, clean them up, cut the grass around it, put flowers on. We was 10, 11 years old.
Sweet.
We were strange children.
Most people, went to the park or the local bus shelter.
Yeah.
You went to the graveyard.
Yeah. Graveyard kids.
They're saying that my house that I grew up in was built on a graveyard. So hence we lived 3 doors down from the church, which is why we went to church every Sunday, because my mum wanted to break. So
dumped you next door.
Literally. Twice a day on a Sunday. So I think that's kind of where my passion came from, is growing up in a house where things happened, you couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
And some really interesting experiences. Some quite scary ones too. But
You've got to have scary ones.
you have that.
There's no fun otherwise.
But yeah, no, and that's where it came from. And continued it.
Because you grew up in a graveyard.
Grew up in a graveyard. You played in graveyards.
Played in
I
a
grew up in one.
This is why we're called strange.
The strange come from somewhere.
Yeah, we're strange people, I think. But we've had a lot. Carry on, love.
Yeah. No, but we are like strange people, but with a passion to investigate and also teach you guys to investigate. So when you come on one of our events, it's not just here's the equipment, let's see what happens. We teach you. We go through the equipment with you. We show you how to use it, and we show you how we investigate. And and we're open to ideas, and it's your evening too. So we want you to have a good time and
experience things.
Yeah.
Experience what we know can be experienced, and then try and figure out what it is. It's not as simple as having experiences. Trying to find out what it is,
what's caused it,
and it's not always physical. Sometimes there's psychological elements. But part of our team, actually, we've got an interesting range of experienced people. So I've got a parapsychology qualification. Paul that works with us has demonology. He's very interested in the occult side of things, which includes ESP and mediumship and things like that. We've got a practicing shaman who's going off Mike
Peru.
is going off to Peru in April, so he's going to come back enlightened.
Yep. He would enlighten us all as well.
Yeah, and then we've got Paul's also sensitive, but Bev's along those lines as well, aren't you?
Yep, I work on the sensitive side of things.
Yeah, so I'm very practical, and you're like the senses, emotional, spiritual side. So yeah, we've got an interesting mix of people.
Yeah, and we have Katie and Jade with us as well, who come along to our investigations, who've investigated with us before.
Jade's not going to be on many at the moment, which I'll explain later on. Katie's learning, she's in training.
Yep.
Katie's in training, she's doing very well. She's done some investigations already.
But like all of us, we have lives, children, and it's tricky.
Yeah. It's easier for me, mine's nearly 18. Well, she's 18 next year.
Oh,
I know.
you're well old.
Shut up. We're the same age, rude. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions or they'd like more information on what we do, we've got on the website there are a lot of blogs to help you debunk things and learn about different types of hauntings and what the difference is between a ghost hunter and a paranormal investigator. So we're definitely more on the investigation side. We like history, we like evidence, we like proof, we like
history that we can see, history we can go and visit, rather than digital history where we can all go on our phones and look up places. We just like to go there, have a look.
There's nothing better than experience, Bev.
Exactly. Can't beat it.
You
and that's what we're all about, is the experience here.
Yeah, and we've got every bit of kit that we feel is tangible. Yeah. In order for science to believe in this sort of thing, there has to be palatable evidence for them. And a lot of kit out there at the moment, especially those that run on apps, they're very, in my opinion, very questionable.
Potentially they could be pre-programmed.
Exactly. Well, they are. A lot of them are pre-programmed, and then spirits are supposed to be able to manipulate that. When they're coming from the 1800s,
they don't even know what a phone looks like.
Exactly. So I'm not sure how I'm not sure how they're meant to manipulate something that technical when they didn't have washing machines. So yeah, we stick to the things that aren't pre-programmed, things that don't run on apps with pre-planned voices.
But quite often it's the simplest things that actually work the best for us.
Definitely.
So for example, light up cat balls. They're motion sensor, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they are probably some of the best bits of kit we have with us.
Simple.
Yeah.
Very simple. I know in one investigation we put one of the cat balls in a hole. There was absolutely no possible way that ball would have moved.
No.
It was in a hole the same size as the ball. So, you know, you've always got that element of, well, it could have rolled slightly, could have been a breeze, could have knocked. When it's in a hole and it's solid and it flashes, that's when you know you got something.
Yeah.
Potential. Yeah.
But like Ouija boards as well. We do use Ouija boards.
Much to your disgust.
No, Ouija boards are fine. You know, we're all trained on how to open them and close them. But they're not everyone's cup of tea. I think for me, and my experience, people use Ouija boards for a couple of reasons. The main reason being they want to hear from a loved one. I think 9 times out of 10 people, that's why they ask to use a Ouija board. And you know, quite often you don't get that message, and you know, and quite often not a lot happens on a Ouija board, does it?
No, I've had very little activity on Ouija boards, to be honest.
We've had some quite interesting ones. It's given us names, dates, you know, a manor house. They gave us a name of like the groundskeeper, the owner. They gave the dates they were born, the dates they died, the names of the children, and that's really interesting. That's probably one of the most active boards we've ever had. But at the same time, on many occasions, you don't get a lot come through in.
It's gobbledygook.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense because they don't understand it, or they don't spell, or
they can't read. Yeah.
Can't read.
So,
yeah, things like that. Best activity I had was on the glass. And you don't trust anybody when you're doing this, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. You feel the same way sometimes? If you don't know the people, I don't trust them.
Yeah,
completely.
I think you've got to go with, usually you can tell when someone's pushing a glass or pushing a planchette, you can tell by the end of their finger because it usually changes colour.
So it changes colour, and Yeah, or everyone else has got their finger upside down and theirs is on the side.
And quite often
So you
people are
get more
suggestive
push.
as well. But some people might say, "Oh, it could be my auntie," you know, and then or an Auntie Elizabeth, and then glass might go to E, and you think,
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Which is why when I do glass, glass divination it is apparently very long name.
And why
for
do
it.
we use glass?
So I don't know. It's easy moved.
So the energy is said
Yeah.
to refract within the glass.
Yeah, it's all to do with light and matter.
Yeah.
All that science stuff. So it's when somebody tells me that, or the person moving the glass, whoever it may be, tells me that it's a family member of somebody on the board, I need to be able to prove that, and that it's not just them moving it because they're desperate for a message. So I look like a complete idiot when I do it. But I talk to thin air. So on this one particular occasion, we had Grandad Brian. I summoned Grandad Brian to another room. Yeah, come on, Grandad Brian, come with me.
Even opened the door.
I did. I held the door open.
You did, yeah.
Like an idiot. And I took another member of our party with us as well. We stood outside, and we came up with a number. I gave Brian enough time to come through. I mean, he was an old man, do you know what I mean? So I had to give him a chance. He might have had a dodgy hip. So he came out, they came out, we all stood there like lemons, talking to thin air. We agreed a number. Went back in. Everyone was still on the glass. Interestingly, the glass didn't move while we were outside, which I thought was interesting, because that just goes to show that whatever I took out with me actually came. Then I just started reeling off numbers. I said, Grandad Brian, are you back? And it went to yes. And then we reeled off a load of numbers. And then when it came to the number that we had agreed, all the others had gone to no, and this one went to yes.
Okay.
And it was the right number. The girl and I that was standing outside with Grandad Brian, our faces just dropped, because there was absolutely no way anyone on that board, anyone on the glass, could have known what that number was, except those people that were outside.
Yep.
And the girl that was outside with me was not on the glass, so she couldn't influence it in any way at all. That, although we weren't able to prove that it was Grandad Brian,
Yeah.
we were able to show more evidence that the chances of somebody actually moving that glass that we couldn't see was more likely, if that makes sense. We couldn't explain that. So to us, that is a paranormal occurrence.
Yeah.
But we still needed that evidence of who it actually was. So we can't say 100% that it was his granddad, but interesting things like that. We would try anything, wouldn't we?
Oh, absolutely.
Be inventive.
Creative. Yeah.
Creative, yeah. Very creative people.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes. Are we done, do you think, for now?
I think so.
Have you got anything else you'd like to say to anyone?
No.
I've got a really dodgy little finger. It doesn't straighten it. Okay, so we're
Now you know.
yeah, I have a dodgy finger. We're going to be doing a few of these, maybe not quite so long. This was more of an introduction and a discussion.
But saying that, if there is something you want us to discuss, just let us know.
Yeah, we do have an actual space to do these videos. We're a bit makeshift today.
Yeah.
Because our day jobs are getting in the way, basically, as usual. But yeah, so we've got a nice little room that we can have discussions in. If you just drop us a line, drop us some questions. It's through the Facebook page. We're on Instagram. We have YouTube channel.
We've covered social media.
We are on every place of social media
so
platform.
you can't
I think.
Escape us.
No, sorry.
So there's no excuse.
You're stuck with them. But yeah, more videos to come of what's going on next week.
Exciting
Times, because I think it might be the first time we've actually all been together since we started, potentially.
Yep.
Proper Stranger Night team. Because we all love each other, really.
There's a lot of
Don't
love.
we?
We do.
There's a lot of love in our group. Yeah, so a bit more about that another day. But thank you for watching. Like I say, drop us a line if you need anything or need any questions answered. Book some tickets with us.
Yeah.
You can book them on the website. More venues are being added all the time.
Just say, do you want to say about the village? Our next venue.
Go on then.
You crack on.
I've talked enough.
You're very good at it. You crack on.
I am a bit gobby. Yeah, a bit. So yeah, we've got the village coming up. It's an amazing place. It's very unusual. It's an old malt house owned by Mr. Merriweather. It's a good idea for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Unusual gift if your girlfriend or boyfriend or
partner
are into paranormal. Go out for a nice meal on the Friday, obviously. Still got to be a bit romantic. And then take on a ghost hunt on the Saturday. Come and join us. It's really good fun. It's cheap.
It is very cheap.
It's very cheap for a night out, I think, for two people. And we'd love to have you, obviously, and teach you how to do things and try different experiments. Use all our kit. We've even got the SLSs.
We have 2.
Yes, we have the little stick figure things. So we look forward to seeing you if you can make it to that. If not, there's others on there. There's more to come.
Port Widley coming up. That's the summer, isn't it?
In July.
Which is an amazing location for those who haven't been there. It is fantastic.
Yeah, and the rest we're keeping under our belt for now.
Yeah.
For no apparent reason, is it, Bev?
No.
No reason at all. But yeah, we're keeping those under our belts. They're places that don't often come up. Some that haven't been investigated for a very long time.
And possibly some that haven't been investigated at
And
all.
some that possibly haven't been investigated at all. Yeah, we're just working out the history of that. But yeah, so there's a lot coming up. There's a lot going on.
And it'll all be posted on our Facebook pages, our website. So just keep checking.
Yeah. Love to see ya. Come again. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.